Hello guys, thank you. Welcome back everybody. How is everybody doing? So let's listen to the sorry for that. The last I have some videos here of the Sun people. Uh, I have some videos that I've made for some elders. Or if it's not here, then I have to get some videos. Let me see if I can get that video. The only way I can do it is to first come in here and get it from here. So here it is, okay. So then, yeah, maybe I was supposed to add some new pictures. So let me just have the Sun people. Maybe it was supposed to add, okay, anyway. Let's just have this video here. Okay guys, we are on. Spare me because with this I gotta get this here. Maybe get this here. My hands are slippery and so this thing is not okay, so this close to be perfect. So that and then just bear with me, our elderly people, for singing here, I have to turn around. This is a website that I'm using to kind of go on live because I don't have whatever people. So okay guys, it's not gonna be perfect because it's about the message, it's not about the perfection, okay? My hands are also slippery, so it's not doing good, and these small things are so small. Yeah, so we are back. So these are elders from it's elders from Kalahari. And here it's just my elderly people from Kalahari. They are saying that they are the last dying, people who is dying out. So the owner of them, I made that video because he went.
He is a member of what most anthropologists consider the oldest human community on Earth, the Basara of Africa,
who went around
otherwise known as the Bushmen of the Kalahari.
For
most of his life, he lived in an area of Botswana now known as the Central Kalahari Game Reserve, surviving in the same way his ancestors had done for thousands of years, by hunting and gathering. The Bushmen have very close ties to the desert. Hunting and gathering formed the backbone of their culture. Ngubi used to roam freely across the borders of Botswana and Namibia, hunting wild game. But all that changed in 1997 when the Botswana government began installing fences to stop unauthorized border
fighting
crossings.
for the land that is not theirs in a crazy way. So, and they still have these people in the chain. So that's a change of the black man having us in the chain. So our elderly people going around to sing. If, for instance, we could move around, we found, even blacks can say that borders was brought by white people, but they are the ones who really brought the borders. And we would go around and sing without no problem during the time of so-called white
Ngubi explains to me how he was out hunting one day and wandered into Namibia. When he tried to return to Botswana, he was detained. Botswana border police demanded proof of citizenship before they would allow him back into the country. Ngubi had no papers. He has remained in Namibia ever since. His story is not unique. Since the mid-1990s, the Botswana government has been systematically moving the Bushmen out of their ancestral lands on the game reserve. The government says they are moving the Bushmen out for their own good. Government representatives say they want to provide services like healthcare and education, and claims that it is impossible to provide these services because the game reserve is too remote.
They are persuaded to relocate. But we do not have, Jeff, understand me to be saying, we do not have a specific policy which is directed at indigenous people. We do not officially regard them because he was singing around
just to make and that lack of policy is part of the problem,
so
according to the United Nations.
Already at the
Professor
UN
James Anaya traveled extensively through the Greater Kalahari Game Reserve on a fact-finding mission for the UN in 2009.
The problem is the development model is one which isn't entirely in sync with or consistent with the apparent aspirations of these people to maintain their cultural identity. They've been moved off their traditional lands, where they historically, traditionally have been able to live from the resources of those lands according to their own ways of life and cultural patterns.
Because the Botswana government does not consider any people as indigenous, it says that the Bushmen have no legal claim on the land. Separated from his ancestral lands and no longer able to support his family, Ngubi felt his culture was dying. Then he had a vision.
So, in the honor of our elderly people, they always thought our culture is going to die out. And it's going to die out. It is. This is the last peak of the dying horse. Again,
mama to mama to mama to
blacks claiming the land and now cliques is being banned for the hair that they are also trying their hair from China or Brazilian 100 hair, 100% hair and stuff like that. So, the San people were saved by the...
Ngubi's vision has led the family to perform at places like this market in Johannesburg, where I met them.
That's how the white
he feels if he can go out into the world and share his music and dancing, people will understand the Bushman's problem, and his culture will be preserved. They are paid a small fee, but they can never leave the desert for very long.
That's what they are doing.
To better understand their situation, Ngubi says I must make the 1,500-kilometer journey back with them to Namibia.
That's what black people do. And that old man, as he was walking between Namibia and Botswana, but so-called Namibia and Botswana, the independence, they made border, and during the time of white men, they were walking around. And then they lost, he was told to stay over in Namibia, and he could not go back to Botswana.
Because of its isolation, Ngubi's relocation corridor is a virtual prison.
These are the chain of the black men.
There is no access to public utilities. Water is pumped from a well over 2 kilometers away.
That is how we are suffering.
There are no heaters,
talking about the
no
borders must be collapsed, but
they are restricted to an area too small to support themselves by hunting and gathering. I must resort to raising a few head of livestock to make a living.
Guys. So what we're gonna do.
The Botswana government has come under harsh criticism from the United Nations for their treatment of the San Bushmen and what it calls the spectacle of one of the greatest cultures of Africa being placed under severe threat.
We're gonna go into
the
subject for today.
Already.
The subject remains the same, guys.
Threatened.
It's just it's the same story. You know that it's the same story. It is just here and there that things maybe it doesn't change. If you get bored and you feel like it's one thing over and over, it's just the same thing. So we're gonna continue and talk about this. This here is now a black man. Blacks now shooting this the San people. Blacks shooting. Sorry guys, if you have to bear with me. So for some reason, this is so blacks shooting the San people, and this is just somebody from the. He was just talking about the rights of the indigenous people. So that's him about the rights of the indigenous people from the United Nations. And this is a picture of the so-called colored people being shot. So-called colored people being shot in South Africa. Yeah, blacks are totally denying. They even think I'm a color. they even think, yeah, you are coming. They forgot that it was two people. Blacks are shooting the indigenous people of South Africa and southern part of Africa. And this have not just started now, that they are claiming we are for the white men. This have already been going on for decades. It has been going on for decades because the blacks have already started their slaughtering and their ocean bath of the San people before the white people came. So this is what's going on. And you will see as we are going the difference, what they are doing to the so-called colored people. They are shooting them. And then what they do is to go to where the Malemas and them protest. The people, they protest because there is something which was done to them, and that's why they are protesting. But then, you know, they go to the Malemas and stuff like that, and you know, no shooting, no gas, nothing.
The click stores across the country.
Let me just close it, guys, so I can bring it a little bit up. So, you know, they go to the Malemas and everybody, but there's no shooting.
Following a controversial online advertisement, at least 3 click stores have been petrol bombed or damaged in Emalasheni in Mpumalanga, Alberton in Johannesburg, and in Polokwane in Limpopo. The EFF has distanced itself from the attacks on the stores. The party claims labeling the hair of black women as dry and damaged undermines the dignity of black people. Among the demands is that Click's essay reveal the names of those behind the controversial advert published by the company, which caused a social media uproar.
Remember when he banned
and Floyd Chivambo says all Click stores should be closed until they accede to the party's demands.
We all, you know, we blacks have.
We're not going to agree to have racist institutions to be allowed to continue to exist as if there's nothing wrong. And we're very consistent as the EFF. Every time racism rears its head, we act very decisively. So they must lose revenue, they must lose profits because of their racism. Because most of these institutions think that they can act like they used to do under colonialism and apartheid.
So we're just gonna go on. As we go on, I can bring many videos that I want to show you what is happening. You actually know what is happening, but just how we see the game black men is playing, you know, how we see how the blacks are playing their game. Very interesting, very. But I'm not shocked because this has been ongoing. If you really know the history of black people and San people, then this is nothing new. This is nothing new. So no, I cannot put him over the chain because you got to see the chain and then compare these chains with the story here.
The funeral service of the El Dorado Park teenager who was shot and killed allegedly by police is taking place today. 16-year-old Nathaniel Julius died last Wednesday, an incident that sparked violent protests in El Dorado Park. Manungelo Boy is there at the moment and tells us more on what we can expect this morning ahead of the funeral service. Manungelo, thank you for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it. What can we expect on the program for the funeral in El Dorado Park today?
It is an ongoing thing. That's just how they kill them.
Jacob, the funeral of Nathaniel Julius is expected to get underway at around 9 o'clock this morning. That of course, he's the teenager that was shot and killed. That's according to residents by the police. Over a week ago, as you rightfully said, his death sparking violent protests in this community. There have been 3 police officers that have since been arrested for his death. 2 of those police officers are charged with murder. And of course, this morning at around 8:30, we're expecting his mortal remains to arrive here at his home, which is very close to where we are. In fact, as you can see, there's a marquee behind us. That's where his body will be arriving at around 8:30 this morning. Well, it's for the viewing by family and some members of the community. And then we're expected a short service that will be taking place at the home. And after that, though, we're told that at around 9:30, his family and his remains will then move to a nearby church, which is about a block away from where we are, Jake. And we're told when that happens, then the members of this particular community will then make a guard of honor along the road as they has with the mortal remains of Nathaniel. Nathaniel Julius is making the way into the local church where the service will be taking place. We're expecting members of this particular community to gather also at that particular church to bid really their final farewell to a boy many of them knew rather.
If it's not rape, it's still going on.
So it's been a hectic few days right there in El Dorado Park, considering the fact that there were night vigils and protests, etc. Since Wednesday last week. What is the mood like right now from what you've seen, and what is the energy like around you with the people that you are interacting with ahead of the funeral?
Oh, I'm going to ask this. If the black people, and
well,
then
Jakes,
they are
just after 6
us.
o'clock, so I have not actually even interacted with anyone. I've just seen very few people going to work. And I suppose people are still waking up and getting ready to be part of the funeral that's expected to take place at around 9 o'clock. Jacob?
Birth rights as the indigenous people. They deny them. They totally decide the colored people are all those people who came as who was brought for work there in South Africa. They are, you know, they are so selective with Jan van Riebeeck's history. What fit them, that's what they take, and what does not fit them, that's what they destroy. So we're gonna go here to, you know, Julius, how, so you can, I'm just trying to let you know so you can compare the 2 treatments, okay? That you got to compare the 2 treatments, what, and in the meantime, even though we already had him, but just an example of what a black person is and what the San people are. So you know, we cannot have these pictures. We really have to have them so we can just so for people who don't understand can just have a clue where I'm coming from and what's this, what I'm dealing with. So people can just have a clue what I'm talking about, okay? So you can just have a clue. So sometimes it's just too much work to Google, download these pictures and stuff like that. So let's maybe Google some of the pictures. So maybe so you can just see if blacks just for the black people to kind of maybe get an understanding that we are not black people and that we never have been black people. And so if you compare that man in the picture and then compare this here, you can see even the hair. And we are so proud about our hair. We don't need to go and ban any cliques if a white person laugh about our hair. I mean, it's so silly. If a white person, black people are laughing at us, black people are beating us like killed, black people are banning us out, but nothing is happening. So why should we go and laugh, I mean worry about what do you call it, cliques hair? You know, that's a difference between a black person and the native. That's a difference. Here our hair, you know, this is our hair, that type of hair, and black don't have those type of hair. And you see the two skin differences. Okay, you see the skin difference. Black people will call a sun person who looks like this, it's a white person, or a Sikam is a European. Our people was already light in skin. So if our people who was already light in skin, if us who was already light in skin like this mixed with a black person, so that's the situation. So it's gonna, there's so many people which is white, they believe there's a thing, it's white people, but it's not white people. This is us that you cannot deny and feel that and try to. If the whites and the blacks both have invade us, what do you think? How should we look? How do you want us to look? There is so many white people in the 70s who have become white people in the 1600s. So how do you want us to look? How do you want us to look if you are denying our existence? How do you want us to look? Look, that person in the picture and this child. So that's the colors, that difference. We are not black people, and we don't want to be black people. We don't want to be forced into, as they have been raped by blacks, as they have been raped by blacks. This is how they are changing. This is the color they change as the blacks invasion and black terrorism. This is how they are changing. But we are not black people, and it is our ancestral space. The space is our ancestral space. This is we. That is ours. We're talking about, you can get away from the borders and stuff. Even if you get away from, or get away, or you know, leave the borders out, we still have our space. This is us. Son, a pregnant woman, just like that. That is us. That is us. That's us. So, you know, for you to decide that we don't have a place to call home here in our ancestral land, it's just, you know, your lies is just, and then killing people for the land that is not yours. Why are you killing black, white people for the land that is not yours? You see, that is how you can see, that is how they are changing when the blacks are coming. And they feel like our blackness, they don't worry about Shaka Zulu who rape. They don't worry about the blacks who rape. They don't care about that. Everything, and we, you know, we are the natives. You cannot do anything about that. We are the natives, okay? We are the natives, and blacks are the ones who kick us in. Blacks are the ones who kick us into Kalahari. So Kalahari is not our home. Blacks are the ones who kick us in Kalahari. So you talking about Kalahari and Kalahari this, you got to be careful what you talk about, because you are the ones, it's your day that we end up into. Before the white men came, you already had us in Kalahari. So I wanted to how the natives were. This is so. I want to show you how the natives of South Africa, so-called coloureds, were shot by the blacks. Black police brutality towards the natives. This is a black police brutality towards the natives in South Africa. These are building. That's the black police killing the natives in South Africa. You see how you see the smoke. You see that dark smoke. When they come to the so-called colors, that's their approach. Okay, I'm just letting you know. I can't talk because of these chains. I'm changed by black people. I'm just showing you that those you see those smoke, the fire, that black smoke. It's how they come. They come as policemen there. They come that these people, you have to know that this is coming from the culture, black culture. The black culture is to kill and shoot and rape and take the land of the San people. That is from the beginning. That's what they have been doing. So don't be fooled. Don't be fooled, my people. Don't you be fooled. That's the approach they come. So that is just what they are doing. They come to you as say they're supposed to do, the policing. So let's just bring Julius here. I don't even know who say thank you for such a person who is killing my people.
We call people Zimbabwe.
He's taking the land for the black people. So hold up. So sometimes I download the videos, but then they don't come up the way that I would love. So you have to listen here, right? The way the police are coming and the way the police are doing when they come to the natives of South Africa.
In Eldorado Park after the death of... Anger boils over in Eldorado Park after the death of 16-year-old Nathaniel Julius. A police officer allegedly shot the teenager with Down syndrome on Wednesday, and he died later in hospital. Protesters who fought running battles with police say it's just the latest example of police brutality in the community south of Johannesburg. Near where her son was shot, his mother Bridget says he'd done nothing wrong.
We asked them to protect us, they rather killed us.
They will kill you. They will not. Why?
If anybody can just tell me why are they so cruel people out there?
They are cruel because they are foreigners, okay? They invaded, and these are the chains they have you. They have to shoot you, cook you, and take your land. Don't you understand? You have to vanish because they have to be alone there. You have to vanish. That's what they want. That's what they want. They want you to. They want you gone from there. That's what they want. They want you gone. That's what they want. They want you gone. So so this here, you got to understand. This is how the blacks came. That is the way. Sorry. That is you got to understand, that's the way ANC. This video is not so good. So the ANC, or not ANC, before they become ANC, the blacks already was killing. What they are doing now, it's an oncoming thing. It's not a new thing, people. That's what they are doing now. It's not a new thing.
I'm also I've been at the housing department.
I'm very concerned due to the fact that the housing in the area has become a problem. We've got foreigners taking over buildings.
You will bow. That's what Malema is doing. He's giving the land to his brothers.
For the local government making promises that they're not delivering.
You know, guys, what I want you to see is when they approach the natives, which they call foreigners. They call actually the natives foreigners. They have been brought by Jan van Riebeeck. The people that they know, they don't know Jan van Riebeeck was raping them in the Chaka Zulu rape. They don't know that. They don't even know that Chaka Zulu rape and kill. They don't touch that. When Jan van Riebeeck talk about certain things, that's the ones they take and they run with that. But they don't know that in these white people are also victim white people, because they are they are victim because they were raped by Jan van Riebeeck, and Chaka Zulu is also the one who raped. So they don't even know people who run away from Chaka Zulu and run into the so-called colored community. So what they are talking is to get rid of you guys. That's why there is a video that a Nigerian guy, maybe I will get there, Nigerian guy was calling the colored community foreigners and they must go with the white people.
Standing outside trying to get the children to work. It was peaceful. There was no taxis. But when the police came with tear gas, that was the problem. They went out the van with our people.
They do that.
A lot of people sitting there by the
They do
fire station
that.
that is shot. So that is...
You never see this, the scene that I'm showing you, you never see with the EFF. You never see it. They are the violent ones, but you don't see this type of approach. You know, you don't see this type of approach of the policemen to the EFF. But when they come to the natives, which they claim and decide that they are not the natives, they decide like that. They decide like they actually decide the entire colored people are just the Malaysian. And we who know the so-called colored people, we know that there is Malaysians are people on their own, and we still say they still say I am from the Malaysian, and the Indians were also brought. The Indians say they are Indians, and the so-called coloreds, which are mixed with Indians, they say I am mixed with Indian, and my grandmother was a San person. So there is this mix going on. But the natives, which was disadvantaged, have taught their children that this was happening to us. That makes them the natives. And they don't talk. Nobody talks about the side of Chaka Zulu slaughtering and you know, coming from the northern, from Namibia, from Angola, you know. Ombinji, he was Ombinji in Angola. That's far I can trace them in Angola, and then Vambu, and then in Angola, South Africa, he became a Zulu. That's far I can trace them.
Our cry, no more shooting at our people.
They will shoot you.
People are not talking with guns and stuff. We are peaceful, we are housewives. So what is a big deal? Housewives must be shot.
Due to the Group Areas Act, we were dumped here. We were dumped in a veld. We built ourselves up.
Yeah, that's a point. That's a thing. The thing is, that's the same thing. White people build their farms, they build themselves. These people getting whatever we're gonna build ourselves out. That is our people. But then they will kill our people and complain about drugs. Then they are also drug dealers themselves. Our people, they always have this negative thing to talk about. And then they will say, I'm a colored. I never, you know, because the black people don't know the history of they don't know the entire history of Africa. And then they forget about totally blackness of mind, of the rape of Chaka Zulu. And then they think that we have been brainwashed by white people. So let's continue looking at.
But as time went, our families grew, and the demand for housing grew. You understand? We don't want a lavish home. We just want the proper
you see,
over our roofs. That
they are shooting them
many years ago.
With these houses that they've been built here, we were told go to housing, go and update your C forms. We've been there. I went to in the last 2 years.
Oh please, blacks, you know what I mean? Blacks blacks are really out for to kill these people. There is no way that you want to have it different. They are out to kill these people. So this is how they are coming. This is how blacks are coming. You see, full gear. That is how the blacks is coming. When they came to the natives, any protest, anything for the natives, when the blacks are coming, they come in this. And it's not new. You have to understand the Chaka Zulu, the spearhead and all those things. They have been killing these people. Natives, because of Chaka Zulu, because of the Vambus, these people ran into the desert. So you have to understand, if was it not for the black people and for the white people, our people could have never, you could have never seen, like even me myself, that because the red ocean, which the blacks was killing the San people, red ocean it's the blood water of the San people was running from the north and to the south, and it was just stopped here by the white people. So they were killing. That's just it. You know, that's just it. That's why the blacks are not, while I'm looking at this video, I saw something that I didn't even thought, but you know, while this is something that I just saw, this is you know why the blacks is not messing with the Arabs and the Chinese people, because the Arabs and the Chinese are training their people from young age to already keep up the firearm for protection. That is what they are doing. So that's why black people know, you know, they are bullies. So the weaker people, the San people, which is weaker people, is still enslaved by the black people, who cannot even stand up and say, San people, Kum people, they don't have the sense of ownership, so they cannot even stand up and say, this land belongs to me. So the blacks have an advantage. They have an advantage of this because they communicate with the people international and whatever, and people think this Africa belongs to the black people, but this Africa continent is the San continent. But unfortunately, because of the weakness of the San people, they were killed out, murdered out by black people. Genocide, you will never hear about that because it's not a white man which is documenting his things. But at least the San people went on the mountains of already documented. The rocks is their books in their library, and then that's where they hide it. And the blacks, they don't even know how to understand those things and read those things, and they can't get it. And when we are telling them, they will still say, no, you are lying, because they have not even covered a meter of the rocks. They don't even know where the rocks are. Even when they see them, they take it as useless things that people who have studied and people who knows, and our ancestors telling the story generation to generation. The rocks history is complete, and it's a full cave which is there. So this is you got to see here. It's something that I wasn't planning, but when I was looking down here, I saw it. This is a, you can see it's a 7-year. It's a child. He's not 7 years old. They just say 47. The AK-7. So it's a child in Syria. In how these Arabs and these blacks have been fighting for decades. 1 centimeter here, 1 centimeter here. But everybody is protecting just his household. Everybody is protecting his household. But for us, which is not taking the firearms, which is not fire, us, which is the weaker ones, we are being killed out. That is the weakness, or not knowing how to fight, or are not by nature people who is fighting, not people into wars. And we don't know that, and there's no way we'll know that. So we're gonna, our pay is to die out. That is the pay. Now look here, this this guy, this small boy, is in Syria. So with whatever, they are already trained. Look here.
Like their parents before them, it's a cycle of violence that has plagued generations. Like their parents before them, these children too are growing up to the brutal sounds and lessons of war.
That is Arab war.
Fighting broke out between the Sunni Bab al-Tibet.
That's why blacks also don't play. Julius Malema say that.
And the Alawite Jabal Muhsin that backs the Assad regime. The two separated by the appropriately named Syria Street. In the midst of the intense
that is what they are doing everywhere. They blame the white men. They blame the Europeans. You are in your country and you still blame the Europeans. They are killing their own. Even this Syria thing, I follow that. I know most of the international things going on, and I follow the Syria things, how it was starting, how these outbreaks were starting in the Arab countries recently in the 2000. And it was just people by themselves doing it. And these Arab countries, because of them fighting, that's how they invaded so-called Africa. Nobody's opening their mouth and talk to the Arab countries about their invasion. Nobody is standing up, and nobody. These white people, they came and live among us, but the Arabs have totally wiped them out. Totally. If this white people, if they were that type, then the Chaka Zulu was just having, they weren't having firearms. They were not having. The white people, if they wanted, they would have wiped them off. And just do the same thing that the Arabs have done. They could do that and not even give you any history and not even tell you this is a continent. They would have been quiet, just like the Arabs are quiet. I have talked to the Arab people. They say those are their countries, but it's not their. It is already having the painting of the Sun people. Entire continent Africa has the painting of the Sun people, but nobody. Even now, the Arabs don't allow the black people. They are not allowed. Look at the social media. You will see that. They are not allowed. They are going there as slaves, and they are crying on the social media how the Arabs are treating them. In 1962 is the time that Arabs have abolished slavery, and slavery mainly for the black people. And from there, Arabs don't really take black people. So. And that's how the Arab culture is. It has nothing to do with white people. They fight among themselves from opening the eye. They just fight. They are conquerors. That's how they conquer Africa, so-called Africa, that they even give the name. And they have destroyed mostly anything and everything that gave evidence that there was other people here, like the Sun people were there before them. They killed them out, and as they were killing them, as they were killing the Sun and the blacks now follow the same and kill the Sun people out. And that is how the history, the entire continent, the first inhabitants of Africa are the Sun people, unfortunately killed out by Arabs and the blacks. So that's why you will see that blacks, they don't open their mouths there. They bully the white people here. The Sun people, they kill them silently. But the whites are the ones, they are painting a picture that they are just concerned about the Europeans. Meantime, it's not just Europeans, they are concerned about us too, so we can vanish. So look here, this is Syria.
We saw Khidr, unflinching, brandishing a real AK-47, striding up and down the street. Monday, the guns were, for the moment, silent. The Lebanese army stationed along the front line, residents tentatively returning to their daily chores, water guns temporarily replacing real ones. And we met up with Khidr and his family again. He's a soft-spoken, shy child. I wanted to protect my family, my country, he says. But despite all of Khidr's bravado, he couldn't. His mother, Fatme, was nearly killed. I was sitting here on the stoop, Fatme shows us. I was holding my daughter like this. She was nursing. The next thing Fatme knew, she and her baby girl were drenched in blood.
So it seems like the bullet came in. It was fired from one of the buildings over there. The family is...
The thing is now, nobody, that's a problem. As long as the blacks and the Arabs and the, you have to understand one thing, that human rights is coming, it's a European thing, because the whites were also enslaved by white self. So the whites have also run that enslavement. So the first slave masters of whites was white self. So that's how whites have came up with this human rights. They are the masters of the human rights. Only the Europeans are the masters of the human rights. Not Arabs, not Chinese, not Chinese, not black people. The three groups, they don't know human rights. The Koreans, especially the North Koreans, they don't know. That's why they fought the South Koreans. So for some people, we are not black people, and some people are not also North Korea and South Korea. Those are like black people who fight each other, like the Vambus fought against the Zulus, and that is kind of that thing. It is so we are not the same with the, like you could say, North Korea and South Korea. No, it is two. We are two different DNAs from the black people. We are not the same DNA. So this, that is how the Chinese. I was watching a movie where I was seeing that the North Korean people went in, the North Korean children like 7, like this boy. They were on the computers. They were already training, shooting, and that aggressiveness from the beginning. And they were already told that about white people. So these children, these white people went to the children to that, and they were saying those little Chinese, they were not Chinese, they were Koreans. They were saying white people were ugly, and the difference between the noses, the white people nose and the Korean nose. So, but they were still feeling that white people having that long noses, they were ugly, but that's a mentality that they were being brought up. So, and then later on it was shown, you can even Google and see maybe the same video that I saw, that it's not propaganda. It's not propaganda. Everything when it is concerning Korea, then the blacks jump to its propaganda, because they are looking for sympathy from those people, and those people care nothing about you. Those people care nothing about you. Black people, you try to whatever the white people, those people care nothing about you. So then they went into the computers, and they were already doing, just like us, the San people hunting. When our boys is already becoming 4, 6 years old, it is hunting. So that is the mentality that these Arab countries, the Chinese and these people are pushing. They already, that is one thing we as the San people, we have lost. We have lost to maybe during that time when, before Jan van Riebeeck even came in, when these other people, like so-called Khoisan, were on, because that the firearm handlings and stuff have started then long time ago. It have started with that, because you remember even the Indians says when they were on the shore, the people that they see, that's why the blacks have no ownership to our land. We're not talking about the Indians here. The Indians which have their books, which was people who was working at the sea, and that because the trade was already going on. Jan van Riebeeck is not the first person who brought the trade. That's why they're talking about the Khoisan, because it was just Bushman Kung people who have stopped there at the sea where they were getting those trade deals with those people who was coming to the shore, and different, as I always say, different nationalities. So in that nationalities, that's where everybody in those years already built their armies. The Arabs have already built in that trade when the 15th, 13th, 12th, those time. That is when the Arabs, the white, everybody was building already their armies. So that is one thing that the San people have never did. And because of that, they become to be exterminated and genocide out by the black people. That during those times of the trade deal which was going on, where the blacks were sold, the blacks were still sold. Blacks sold like the Americans was sold because of that firearms and stuff, because the blacks was buying those things and they were taking those things and stuff like that. So now they blame the customer, as I always say, right? So then now during that time, it's a long coming thing. It's a long coming thing that this so-called people. That's what was Shaka Zulu was trying to do in South Africa. It was getting those things and put up an army. And he was having an army. Shaka Zulu was having an army. But that was I'm just giving you the mentality how that plays out. So he was having the army and he was training, not so much here and there in firearm, but not so much in firearm. But he was already, if he was the one who was found there at the shore by the white people, they found him. But I'm just talking about maybe early days, and they were the indigenous people. They could still found those firearms and own South Africa. But they were still killing out the San people. They genocide the San people big time. Genocide. It was a lot of San people which was genocide by Shaka Zulu. Not by say Shaka Zulu, but the ones before Shaka Zulu, but him also Shaka Zulu self too. So, but his group, as they invaded from Namibia or Angola, Namibia, they always have been killing. So that is one thing. Our people, why our people have become exterminated, because during that times when they already were studying the armies, they never did that. They did not protect themselves. They did not protect themselves. And they were, it's not ignorance. We have to ask that from God, and it's just to pray us and see. And because God have never wanted us to even fight, but that's how they are very much advanced. They don't maybe call God, but they are very advanced spiritually. I have, for instance, studied different religions, and I saw that anything that they call in the religions, the San people already practice. That is, they are very advanced spiritually. And that's how the blacks are also not allowing them to practice their religion. And that's how because hunting is our religion. For us, they mean like we are naked. We are not naked. It is our religion. It is us. We are complete in that. And it is our identity. It is us. And we are not naked. That's the most time that we don't feel naked. We feel naked with these clothes, because first of all, this material is not an animal material. So our religion is having an animal material. That is our material, the skin of the animal. And there are certain animals that was holy for us. But the black people take us out and say that we are old age, but they never discover anything. Black people have never discovered anything. And if our people could have that sense of protection, because the trade of firearms and whatever was already going on, they could have get to that sense of protection. And maybe we could have never even have the Zulus, or because if they could have that sense before the Zulus come, they could have already protect themselves, or before Jan van Riebeeck came, they could have already know how to protect themselves. But because of them not protecting themselves or not having the sense of protection and ownership, they were invaded. And that is how that have worked out. And that is still today. That is, and now the Jan van Riebeeck, with knowing about that protection of firearms or whatever, he protect them. He also killed them, but they protect them. And I cannot just put it on Jan van Riebeeck because it was English, which was, even before Jan van Riebeeck. They were Dutch, in southern part of Africa. They were Portuguese. So now then the English. So otherwise we could have been, because the blood was flowing as the blacks was coming. The blacks were killing, and the blood was flowing. So let's not forget this. This is the blacks. Okay, let's not forget this. So that is what the blacks did, and still they have us in this chain, and it's irreversible. So this is, this, you saw this little boy
in blood. Dramatic video as a woman is a...
Yeah, so we're gonna see this little boy,
So it seems like the bullet came in.
So, if you can see this little boy, this one here, he's already holding the firearm. I don't know.
It seems like
he's already a soldier. He's just a soldier like a soldier like Julius Malema, who is killing the natives of South Africa. He's a soldier like any soldier in America. He's a soldier like any soldier in China.
Came in.
So
it was fire, bounce. Khidr comes out with the, and then managed to ricochet up into her face through just like that. Khidr comes out with the bullet, or what's left of it. This is the one that went through me. It went in here and came out here.
You see how small that child is?
Khidr says he was sleeping and woke up to his sister screaming, "Mommy, Mommy." Their home was supposed to be safe. Neighbors from the upper floors and relatives from other areas had all moved in and are still here, fearing the fighting will break out once more. The water has been cut since it all began.
So, you can see how small is that boy.
Up and down the street.
You see?
Monday,
I want to show you.
Appropriately named Syria Street. In the midst of the intense gunfire last week, we saw Khidr, unflinching, brandishing a real AK-47, striding up and down the street. Monday, the guns were...
that is the world that we are living in. And that's why, in that way, the San people are very far away to catch up with the real world. Very, very, very far away to catch up with the real world. To catch up with this cruel world that we are back with the black men in South Africa and Namibia before the time whites have. We are back in the old age, in the dark days, before the whites have rescued them. That's where we are back at. So, survival for them. Survival is not gonna happen. So it is not gonna happen, because that's how the blacks are now. That's why the blacks are kind of. That is what they are doing, killing them out, setting them up now with the Nigerians. That is what the blacks are doing, setting our people up with the Nigerian. This is what they are doing.
Peaceful demonstration quickly degenerated into the worst riots since. What began as a peaceful demonstration quickly degenerated into the worst riots since apartheid ended in 1994. A row over
so that is how the black people kind of...
There's a developing story. Our viewers, while my camera operator Muhammad, the police, allegedly by the police, we understand that gentleman had a Down syndrome, but he's now passed away, we understand. I want to get word with some of our viewers while my camera operator Muhammad shows you what's happening. What has been happening here? Hi, my name is Majid Amin. I'm from a local...
So the thing is, what happened, right, guys, it's let's just maybe...
Earlier on, you did say you were at the police station just awaiting to the of the protest. Thank you for joining us at ENCA. But going to the police station, what will the message be to the police?
Our message, my name is Auntie Florence. I'm a community worker, and the wishes of the people of the community today is that we must go to the police station. They must release Majid. And we must have a
release Majid. Black people, release Majid. Release our freedom fighters. Release our
kids safe.
Release the natives. Relieve our freedom fighters, black people. Let our people go. Free the natives of South Africa. Black people, let the natives of relieve Majid. Relieve our natives of South Africa. Release them. Release. Stop shooting our people. You are killing the natives. You are fake natives. You are not natives of South Africa or Namibia or Botswana. Relieve our natives. Relieve our freedom fighters. Relieve them. They are talking out to be talking up so they can be free. Relieve them. Relieve them. You still standing here and denying us our ancestral right. That's not gonna happen. You see how I want you to look at this, because I'm going to show you the police, how they approach the EFF, how the police are approaching EFF. When I show these things, I'm not just talking about South Africa.
How could they shoot Nathaniel after all?
That woman is regarded, she's not a native woman. She's a colored woman according to the black person.
You knew everybody. When his mother's not here, you know where to find his mother. That's how his mother trained him. Wherever I go, you go with me. But this...
Threw me the back and you walked up?
Just there. And his fingerprints still on the bucky. And I couldn't move.
Here's my shot right here. So the vans stopped here. The vans stopped here. Right? They first went in, came out, so we stood here. Lockie was standing right here. And as they called, come here. And he had baskets in his hands though. He was eating. And he walked till here and he shot him. Close range on the chest and he rolled under there. The two guys jumped out, pulled him out, threw him in the back of the van, and they all.
Down, Black Master, down. Down, terrorists, down. Down, terrorists, down. Down, Black Slave Masters, down. Down, terrorists, down. Down, terrorists, down. Down, terrorists. That's all what I'm saying. Down with the terrorists. They are just terrorists. That has been proven. It's all that they are. So we're gonna first listen to the invader himself.
We call people who come from outside Makwerekwere, whereas we are Makwerekwere ourselves, because we come from where those people come from. None of us
free
come
us.
From here.
Let people free us.
From the north and
free us. Let my people go. Free us.
In Southern Africa, and we settled here. The Khoi and the
you settled here.
Welcomed us here.
He said we settled here. I don't know. We settled here. We were welcome. Jan van Riebeeck was not welcome, but the Chaga Zulu terrorist himself who killed the natives was welcome. My dear. Chaka Zulu was welcome with blood rivers and blood ocean of the San people in entire Africa. But Chaka Zulu was welcome. According, he was there. Apparently, he, Malema, was there. Now, let's look at how the police, the terrorist police, are approaching the natives. Just look at how they approach them, you know. And not the natives, how they approach their own. I want to make this picture very big so you can't miss nothing. That's the police and EFF, all invaders together. Police, you see the police, okay? You saw the police and EFF.
Murder is murder, particularly when you kill
two brothers,
innocent people.
Namibia and South Africa.
People who have nothing to do with your peddlers. Because today is a white man, tomorrow you will kill us for disagreeing with us. We have no time for this fact. We have no time for these criminals. We are not here for them. Their families and friends should know that we did not come here in support of these criminals. They must never confuse us to be friends of criminality. A revolutionary is not a criminal. A revolutionary does not support criminals. Criminals belong in jail. Criminals must rot in jail. We are here because white arrogance displayed itself on this street. We were here to confront it toe to toe.
They were already killing us. Like now they make like, that's how you can see from the police what they are doing. The necklaces and stuff, where they were neglecting the indigenous people. You know, this is what was already happening. This what is happening now. It's things that was already happening. That is how the blacks were killing the San people. That is how the blacks were killing the San people. So it's nothing new, guys. So what I'm showing you here, it's a dying kick of the dying horse, because blacks are killing us out. That is what the blacks are doing, you know. That's just what they are doing. Blacks are killing us out and get us away from here. That's just what the blacks are doing. So I don't know if my videos are finished, but maybe I can go back on my laptop, and because I don't see some of the videos that I was having. So those are just to show you why we are vulnerable. This is the last kick of the dying horse, because you know, if we don't protect ourselves, stand up, do, and you know, protection is just standing up and bring up your voice. Protection is, you don't have, and yeah, this is a picture that I wanted to show you guys. This was the picture that I wanted to show you guys. But
and if it means we come back tomorrow, we'll come back tomorrow the whole of the week until they accede to the demands that we have given as the economic freedom fighters, because it looks like these other organizations have learned how to live with racism. They accept racist actions, but as the EFF will never ever tolerate racism.
Blacks, blacks are racist themselves. They are apartheid themselves. They, you know, people are saying that the racism is with white people. No, the racism was already with black people. That's how the whole ocean of blood of the San people is because of the black people, apartheid, racism and all that thing. So the ocean, that's why there's the ocean already which was going on. South Africa, in entire Africa, it's how the blacks was killing them out. So they talking about racism, it's racist themselves. It's themselves. They have to look in the mirror and see themselves. Blacks are very racist. When so-called apartheid was going on, black racism has been going on all time. The black racism is swept under the rug. So there are slaves, and their slaves are not talking up. And blacks have good slaves. Okay, let me tell you, blacks are good invaders which got good slaves, because their slaves are not talking. Their slaves, the ones who they kill, rape, nobody talks. It's a quiet thing. Nobody talks. That's how they got away with their deeds. And that's why they can stand on the world stage and lie to the world that they own a land that they don't own. And every evidence of history from the mountains to the valley, bones of the sons they testify and say, you don't own this land.
That is what we do. They're actually very lucky that we had the planned protest which we announced before we came. They should ask what happened to H&M when we took action against them for racism. There were a lot of consequences, and this is what is going to happen to each and every institution, to each and every workplace.
You know this, let me tell you, once the white man is finished, blacks, South Africa and Namibia was the last. They first ran to Botswana, they ran to Angola. That's what the blacks have done. They ran to all these places. This is the last. South Africa is the last. The white people and the San people are the last kicking horse of it. But after that, what they are doing, they first eat the San, the natives, and then they eat the white, and after that, they eat each other. The good example, take a look at Zimbabwe. The Zimbabweans could run to South Africa. South Africans cannot run anyway. That is what happened. So whatever clicks about a hair, you have the hair that everybody must say it's dry. It's dry hair. Okay, it's dry. The hair is dry. We have to ask the white man to make Vaseline or something so we can put some of the Vaseline in, or we leave it like the San people. We don't have a problem. And even if the people say your hair is dry, some of the people, we order the wigs, so the blacks must stop ordering wigs from Brazil and be comfortable in that hair. Okay, that's all we are saying.
That shows racism. We're going to always act as the economic freedom fighters.
They are racist themselves.
Ever tolerate racism.
But
that is the purpose of our visit here, and we're going to be here to make sure that this place does not open until they accede to the demands that
and these so-called freedom fighters, they have nothing. A white man have built South Africa. They are not even a drops to build South Africa like the white man. The white man is building with his own. The white men have discovered, as well as the San people, they have discovered. San people govern themselves decades before the white people. That's why the history and the discovery of the San people are in the laboratories and in the pharmacies of the white people. Pharmacies, pharmacology and whatever. But blacks never, nothing of yours is in the books besides things that you have stole from the San people and play hide and run. And you have nothing. Once the white man is gone, say thanks to the white men who have teach you many things. Say thanks to the San people, which you take their history, their culture.
Even we've made the demands public, and they've not acceded to them. So that is what we are here for.
Meanwhile, a group of EFF members said Pretoria's mainland mall say they are going to stage a protest for the closure of the Click stores until late in the evening.
The mainland mall in Pretoria, where a group of EFF members are gathered outside the Flix store as the call for the shutdown of the more than 800 Flix outlets refers to what your program today is gonna look like. We're here at mainland.
You know, you got to acknowledge something. This guy here has a chain, and it seems like maybe it's a white chain or whatever, but I have here a chain myself too. This is for the, you know what, let's just get this picture. So before we talk, we can maybe get this picture. I had it, I always gonna have it, you know. So the story, the history is very much just on, oh sorry, guys, for some reason, yeah, the history is been brainwashed that only blacks have the chain, white people have the chain. That's how the entire globe has been painted. Forgive the Arabs and blacks and Chinese chains. Even the Korea is having their own people still now in slavery. They are escaping. But all those chains are now, nobody talks about it. Everybody have forgot about that. The only chains which is coming out with the pictures, because the whites have took, that's the difference. The whites have took pictures. You know, I bet you Chinese took it, but that is, those things cannot come out of their land. It's hidden and maybe even bent out by now. It's not things that you will see again circling. But the white people, they brought up the truth, and now that is what they are using. But when the white went to Africa, it was the African who chained them up, not the white people, because the white people did not go in the jungle. They went in the jungle and chained them up. But now it is the white people which is the is to be blamed. They don't blame the ones who chained them up, who run and, you know, to put people in chain. It must be maybe like maybe 10 men for one man, or maybe 20 men for one man. So it was a group which was chaining them up and sailing them, because as I was telling you, this trade was going on already on the shore. In this, you know, so then the whatever was coming, this blacks, they chained their own people up, and before even the white people have sold them, take them, there was already slaves among themselves. You know, there was already slave, black to black slave, and Arabs also enslaved the black people, but nobody talks about that. Those are deep hidden. When we hear about people in the chain, we just think it's white people. But the Arabs, blacks, Chinese, everybody has this, but stain on their, you know, but nobody talks about it. So the brainwash machine of the world with which the blacks have, they don't, even the African Americans, they don't talk, they know. They're angry for the black people. You can see in sometimes on social media and stuff, but they don't stand up and approach them. They are blaming the white people. But in that America cell, there were also white people which was enslaved by white people. White people who ran to America ran from slavery, and they were also slaves. And there's not just white people, there were also the so-called natives of America, which was also, nobody talks about that. White people were also slaves. White people have died fighting for the black people and fighting for freedom, not just for black people, fighting for freedom. So that's why you hear about the American history, you hear about civil rights, civil war. But then it was 500,000 white people died in that. But the blacks are the ones who want reparation. So that is the picture that we have only about the white people. That I don't want to mess up. So we have this picture, and this is also just white people. So I brought this picture so we can go with his neck, which he have a chain, and I have a chain too. It's a chain. Everybody has his own chain, and everybody has to explain what type of chain he has.
With the racist and
you are racist yourself.
Tendencies of wanting to undermine black people. We, as the majority in this country.
Now, you know that you are the majority in the country, but you are also enslaving the minority of the country, which was majority and which was killed out by you. Isn't this crazy? That the slave masters themselves is now claiming. But in the meantime, they throw the stone and they hiding their arm, and just blame this arm. They throw the stone and hide the arm they throw the stone with, and just blame the other arm. That's what they are doing.
Very simple today to close down Clicks and make sure that Clicks is not operational. So we came here and the Clicks was closed. And we had already bought our chains and our locks to make sure that we shut it down. But fortunately, it was closed, so there's no need. So we will be here the rest of the day today.
So actually, their chain and the what lock was, but our chain and our lock is different. Our chain and our lock is the black men have us in chain and lock. They have locked us down. Our chain black men locked us down. In this one, nobody talks about this. Nobody. If was it not for that white people, we could have been. Even now, we are gone already. And they keep on killing us. They keep on killing us. That's what they are doing. And this, as I was telling you, Malema told you, it is not our land. That is what Malema told you. But, you know, him also, he is ignorant. You know, let's just get him in.
We call people Zimbabweans. We call people Malawians. We call people.
You see, he's telling you, but this is not your land. And then you still want to press things that is not yours. You have been a majority. You have killed these people out, and you have taken these people in capture, and you keep them in capture. And then you ate them, you kill them, you enslave them, and from these people you make and you have totally stole these people's land. Stole these people's identity, like their clothes, their language, everything, and you smear yourself. Remember, there was a story about wolf and jackals. When the boss was gone, wolf was the one working the whole time, but when the time for paying, the jackals is the one who kind of smear him with all the mud and stuff like that. That is what the story is. It's a story of wolf and jackals. It is a story of wolf and jackals, guys. That's why we have to tell the international world also that because how the people gonna know if we don't tell them that we are the slaves of the black people? Like Malema was telling you guys that this land is not black people's land. You have your slaves too. Black people own the natives as the slaves. Did you saw the different treatment of how the blacks are being treated, or how the natives are being treated, and how the blacks are being treated? You don't deny that's how that is. Cliques can be closed, and it's so many things happening. Cliques can be closed, and then these are the
to disperse and march into town. To the Boers. Malema will address the crowd at 12 o'clock. There seems to be a standoff here. And a small crowd of uniformed white men. It's uncertain which group they belong to.
You know, it is sad. And guys, I had, let me just see a picture before I forget. A picture that I got it from social media. that what is it called? Pele was sitting with Malema next to each other. They were sitting together next to each other. I don't know if was it a picture that I saw. So just like this guy is saying, you know, you can maybe not say Julius doesn't represent me as a black. So, you know, here is a picture for all of you guys to see. You know, Malema is sitting next to the Minister of South Africa. So the picture is clear, guys. He never sit there with the leaders. He go and stand and lie to the Khoisan people, to the Khmer people, the natives of South Africa. And he went there in a very situation where he has to, but he's sitting with Malema. That just tells you, this very picture tells you that is what they are doing, is to kill out the white people and the natives of South Africa and southern part of Africa. So if this white people and the so-called colored people don't wake up, because both of them are vulnerable and both of them are groups which is waiting for the next hangpal. So if they don't wake up to Idi Amin, the man eater, if they don't wake up, then if they don't wake up and stand together, because if they don't stand together,
noticing there's a lot of police.
If they don't stand together, the police, you have to leave the police out. I shown you, right? I shown you a picture of the police. I shown you the picture of the police in case if you did not saw it. I shown you the pictures of the police. So this is beyond that. What you are facing is beyond that. This is not what I was looking for. So what you are facing as the natives and the white people, unfortunately you are in the same fight, but you fight the fight differently. Everybody is greedy, everybody, and you don't know that you are actually just fasten your dead. All of you are in the same situation. So that's all I can say, that all of you are in the same situation. It is just what it is, guys. The truth is here in front of you. You saw the police. I shown you in the other videos how the police are showing off their tactics as trained officers. They shown off that they were trained. They are trained. They are police people. They show off all their tricks, you know. If you did not see it, I can you see, I can show you. They are gay up police shooting the natives, shooting them. Sorry, that is what they do. That's what the South African police are doing. When they come to the natives, you hear the sound? You hear the sound? You hear the sound? And then they will tell the world.
No violence. The violence came when the cops started to shot at us and throw stun grenades.
Sorry, guys. Oh.
When the cops started just they started the violence and throw standard and like the main thing is the place is very populated. The families live in worse conditions like you know.
So guys, that is the situation. So let me just for those who missed it, so I can just show you. I don't know if I still have that video here. That is a video of the police, how they handle how they come to the EFF, you know, when they come to the EFF, if something happened, what EFF is doing, you know, how they are coming as the police. Yeah, now let me show you how the South Africans are coming to the EFF. The police is that was. Well, they are police, okay?
Murder is murder, particularly when you kill innocent people. People who have nothing to do with your battles. Because,
you know, he's killing us. He killed the police, the blacks are killing us physically and they are killing us mentally.
Today it's a white man, tomorrow you will kill us for disagreeing with us. We have no time for this tax. We have no time for these criminals. We are not here for them. Their families and friends should know that we did not come here in support of these criminals. They must never confuse us to be friends of criminality.
But you are criminal yourself. You are calling other people criminal. You are criminal yourself, and you have to understand the system is in the hands of the black man, and you're not getting out there. The whole system is in the hand of the black man. Black man has you in his system and you are tied up here. You know, it is a sad story. You in his system. Oh. And you are tied up here. You know, it is a sad story. You in his system. Oh. And you are tied up here. So it is a sad story. You in his system. Oh. I see maybe my videos was going a little bit a different way because this is a different camera that I'm using, so I will just edit it and try to get it straight up. So sorry for that. I see my camera is maybe showing a very different because I'm looking at my whatever and I'm seeing a different thing. So I will just do editing for that because the other camera I'm using, I'm using the other website that I use, and I see that in that it came out like that. But sorry for that. I'm gonna definitely adjust that once I'm done, and then I will try to see if I can change that. So what happened is actually the black people killing the natives, you know, and that's unfortunately the situation. That is unfortunately the situation, guys, and I can't tell you, but it is a sad story. It is a sad story, and as long as we're not gonna talk out, because all of us is actually the last kick of the dying horse, because the blacks have the natives here in this, and they will go and say you and I are same people, but this natives, if was it not for the white men, they would have been already killed by the blacks, and blacks are still killing them, but their killing doesn't see any news. It doesn't see any news. They have been. It's a sad story. The dark chains of the black man. I'm telling you, it is a deep story that you can't get through. The dark chain, this chain of the black man, blacks have the natives in this. And it's decades old. For the blacks have normalized it. It's decades old, and it's a normal thing for the black people to chain them up and have them in the chain. Nobody knows about it. These people are dying a silent death, and even if the people themselves are also afraid to talk up. So that's what that is, guys. That is what that is. And yeah, they are saying South Africa belong on their lands, the lands that they have stolen. They still feel they own the land that they have stolen. That is what we are talking about, these chains. Please share this video, guys. It's a chains that you will never get rid of. They have you chained up, and that's just like the Arabs took those countries. That's how they took it. But they both are friends. The Arabs and blacks both are friends. They are friends. That's how they chain you up. They deny you your ancestral right. They deny our birthrights and put us more as coming from all over the world rather than being indigenous people. Yeah, they put us as all over the world rather than be indigenous people. So that is just what happened, guys. So yeah, that's basically what it is, guys. And to tell the truth, we are back in the we never have been back. That's we have been in these chains actually for all the time. I remember, all our life long, because it's decade old. These chains are decades old, and it's hidden by the black men, hidden. Even now I see on social media when our people are talking, no, my dear, they are hiding this chain. They don't want to hear about this chain, so they are hiding them. So good. So that's how the black people have the people in the chain. This is just to tell you that blacks have them in the chain. That is we are back. I keep telling you guys. But anyway, these chains were here. It's not that we are back in the olden days. It was always here. This chain with the black chain, these black chains, they are here. It's decades old. These black chain have been always here with the San people. It is decades old, but nobody knows about it. And blacks are good with hiding it, and it's been hidden. It's a hidden story. It is been hidden. There's knocks of the chain and tides and all these things. It have been hidden, and blacks are good with that. They really are good with this chain hiding thing, and they go and shoot the. You know what I mean? That's what they're doing. So I mean, don't trust the black people. Just forget about that. All I can tell you is, forget about it. Just know that you never, freedom is not, blacks will never free you. Black people will never free you. We are back. At least white people were helping us, but now the whites was the one who was kind of helping us to free. But blacks have again put us back in the dark days. That's what it is, guys. That's what it is. They put us back in the. Remember, the chains are just already been there. It's just invisible. The chains have been already there. It's just invisible, and that's what we have. They are just invisible. So the blacks is not gonna free us. They will never, because they are in denial, and some people don't also know that they are enslaved. So it's a different ball game. It is a different ball game. It is a different ball game. Black people, unless you tell the world the situation. But for now, to the blacks, you will remain. You will be slaves. That's the situation, guys. That is the situation. They, you know, when something happened with the American slaves, they are the ones. They are kneeling, doing all kind of things, but I think they forgot to free us. They maybe just conveniently forget. Should we say so? To free the San people? Or they will, you know, Julius Malema stand on the world stage and say that, but they still say. And then the same Julius Malema again came out and said, it's my land. It's my land. That's okay. I can't, people. I cannot, because that's the black man's lies. I cannot just do it. It's too much lies. Too much lies, you know. In the other breath, you are saying you are not the native, but you still have to call and say that you know, you still come and call yourself as the natives. You have said already that you were not the native, but you don't have any shame in yourself, and then still call yourself as the natives. Yeah, in the other video you already told the world that you are not the natives, but then you are saying again you are the natives. So yeah, I have to go and check on this video and edit it and change it because of different cameras and things that I'm using, actually phones and things that I'm using. I forgot about this one. It's not the other way around. So yeah, guys, thank you for so that is what it is, guys. It's a very complicated story. It is a very complicated story. The devil is in the detail, you know. The devil is in the detail. That is what it is. Because the blacks, they don't want to hear the truth. They refuse to hear the truth. So that's what it is, you know. That these people, the natives, have been forgotten by the black people. The black people totally just ignoring them. Black people decide totally land that is not theirs is theirs. Black people don't want to free these people, but you know, we will just sit here and communicate to the world that blacks are immigrants, foreigners. You know, that's all they are. They own nothing. They own nothing. Nothing is theirs. As long as we don't have to worry about anything else. As long as we know that black people do not own the land. As long as we just have to know that. We don't have to know complicated stuff. If the mathematics is so complicated, just know this simple truth. Blacks are invaders. Blacks have the natives in chain. And I am their child. And I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. That the black people have these people in chain and have us in chain. And when we become dark like this, you see how our ancestors, elders become dark because of black invasion and rape. Now we are not San people because we have a color change into black. Then we are not San people. They deny our ancestral. Blacks enslave them. These are the slaves of the black. If you ever wonder if black people have slaves, you don't have to go far. Here they are. Okay. Yeah. If you ever wonder black people have slaves, if you ever wonder black people have slaves, this is their slaves. Decades. Slaves. This is the slaves of the blacks. Don't wonder. I don't know, is he afraid the blacks are coming to kill you? Look at his face. I know the San people always been afraid of black people. Yeah. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know when I was a child, when I was looking at my aunts and uncles. They were looking so afraid in their faces. Yeah. Then the terrorist was coming. The terrorist was coming. Their faces. Yeah. It's not just ISIS and Taliban's. Here we are killed in our own ancestral land. This is stealing. Kill in their own ancestral land. Allow. So guys, I think they have been killed in their ancestral land. There's no justice, no freedom, no abolition of slavery, no land. You know, that's it. That's the truth about the black enslavement, black slavery, black taking land of these people. That's the truth. No justice for them. No. It's decades or decades all, Baba. Decades all. That is what it is. Yeah, guys. Thank you so much, and until next time, stay blessed, and please share this video. Share the video. Share the video, guys, and so that's the end of the video, guys, and until, please subscribe and share it to your friends, so you know, the voice of the voiceless, you know, so we can, the voice of the voiceless, the untold story of the San people. So thank you, and that's about it, guys, and we'll come again tomorrow or whenever we come again back and sit here and just communicate, you know, thinking loud. It's just us thinking loud from the mind of the hunting mind of the San people. Never be free. The land is now again given to the Nigerians and Chinese. Excuse me, all the lands the blacks have taken. I'm not just talking about South Africa, because I'm talking for the entire San people. So, and the story is the same. Whether I put South Africa, they just take out South Africa, put Namibia. Just take out South Africa, then you put Namibia. Just do that, then that's just what it is. I just put South Africa, but this Namibia. This is Namibia. You know, when the white people were standing there with firearms like that, it was wrong. But when the blacks do that, it's right. it's justified, because I have took this thing from the black man, and you know what he's writing is with all kind of you know, they talking about police brutality, but that's nonsense. You know, they deserve, you know, I took this from the black man, and this so so it's a whole, you know, it's a whole entire Southern Africa. It's an entire Southern Africa. Not Southern Africa, entire Africa. They kill us out from entire Africa. And now the story is same Namibia, Botswana, anywhere, everywhere. It's the same story. So I'm not just talking, even if I address maybe South Africa, but it is the entire chain. The chain are the entire chain of the black. Yeah, you know, they use our elders. They use our elders for their independence, so-called independence. They use them, and they are still using. These people don't know. Our elders don't even know how far is Nigeria. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing, and they have been used by blacks. Blacks are still using them, and I'm sorry, but they're not gonna get out of this chain. It's that what it is. Blacks will never free them. No abolishment for them. No slavery. Blacks will never abolish the slavery for the San people, because the lies is in their favor. The crook game, the mafia, gangster mafia game is in their favor. So it is not like the serial child that I was showing you taking the firearm up and resist. Or maybe like them, you don't have to take the firearm, go to the international war, or sit here like me talk. There's nothing like that. That's why blacks will exterminate them. Whites was trying to help. The whites have helped a lot, but now the whites are also, all of them are going to be exterminated. And as long as so-called coloreds and so-called namas standing with the black people, that's just your end of your, you see, I don't know how they are standing with the black people if you see how the black people take firearms and shoot you, while they don't shoot the black which is doing the protest that you're doing. I don't understand. What is there that you don't understand? What is there that you still want to understand? That you must be narrow-minded. In my case, you must be really narrow-minded to not see what is obvious. In my case, you must be narrow-minded, guys, not to see what I'm seeing and what the world is seeing, and what those who knows the truth seeing, and what our ancestors were seeing, and put it on the mountains, and you don't see it. You know, it's on you. So guys, and until next time, I'm out. Please share the video, and that's about it. And you know, the story, I'm gonna come tomorrow, the other day, and as I'm saying, just sit and sing the same thing. The song is the same song. The melody is the same melody. It doesn't change. The song is blacks are slave master. The melody is blacks are terrorists. Blacks are killing the natives. Blacks are lying and faking they are the natives. So that is just a song, and the melody is the same melody. Okay guys, until next time, please share the video. God bless. Bye.